10. Hi guys, General Splatton here. Today I'm going to show you how to do the spell effects. What you're seeing there is the plastic I use. This came off of a toy that my son had. This plastic is thinner than the plastic I use for the decking. The plastic is about the cheap water bottle thicknesses. Very, very flexible. You want something that's as insubstantial as possible. I'm just cutting out the circles now. Didn't have a circle protractor, so just found stuff that worked together. The cap lid, and then this is airbrush nozzles, I believe, holder. Anyway, what you want to do is you're trying to create something that about a couple of millimeters wide. Now what I'm doing there is I'm drawing the post to be able to glue the piece to the model, and once you cut it out, you'll have that post all the way almost to the other end. Cover that over, then you want to spray it with some type of matte varnish. I used some Krylon matte spray. Now because otherwise the paint doesn't stick very well to the plastic, so you need something to give it some tack, some grip. I'm using P3 worm green here it's thin down to a wash, like 3 to 1, 4 to 1, whatever it was. Very, very thin. Painting it on one side. I painted it on both sides. I did 2 or 3 coats until I got to this green color as you see here, and that was too dark. Now I'm taking P3 necrotite green and drawing in the runes. I got them off the artwork in the War Machine rules book. War Machine, is it Prime Mark II? And so I'm just going around painting on the runes. Once I got through, I flipped it over and I did the back side, and that's what you're going to see a lot of, is me painting runes. So you'll just have to bear with me on that. The idea behind it is, though, with this post, and I'll show you at the end because I didn't film that part for Asphyxious. I got another figure I'm doing one for, and I'll just tack it on to the end of this video. But the idea of the post is that you make it long so it will come up and meet the figure wherever you're going to glue it at the glue point. Now the cool thing about that post is, since it's thin, you can bend it forwards, bend it backwards, away from the spell effect if you need to. You can also bend it, put an angle on it so that you can have more area to glue to. In other words, basically, when you put the spell effect around, let's say, an arm or a hand, you want it centered so it's equal distance all the way around. So the idea of the post is that you can cut it to fit if you just want a very slight glue point, or once you get it to the right distance, you bend it at that point and that way you'll have a more gluing surface if you wish to. Now you could do this for some kind of halo effect over a head, around arms, around the body, just creating bigger circles basically. But all you have to do really is just get you something that's not quite a quarter of an inch, probably 3/16 of an inch wide. Just big enough so I could paint the runes on. And I did make a mistake. I should not have tinted the plastic as much as I did, but live and learn. Never done this before. I generally don't practice things. I just step right into them. But it turned out well. I'm going back here. The P3 necrotite green wasn't bright enough, I thought. So I'm mixed in white, and eventually I'll get almost a pure white, where I go back and paint it. I think I put one more coat on each side, using the white, and then maybe accented the runes in a certain corner or certain bend with a little more white, kind of like it's glowing out more in that one area. These are the runes that was in the artwork, so I just copied off, except for one in particular that I just had to add, and that I can't remember exactly where it is, but if you look closely, it's coming up, I believe. You'll see the UA symbol for Auburn University. So I had to put that one in there. Anyway, so here I am just lightening up the lettering. And like I said, I painted both front and back. If I had to do it over again, I would have only done one coat of the worm green, or perhaps even left it clear. So yeah, there I am going over the Auburn symbol. Anyway, so that's basically it for how to do it. You just you know, get your circles, cut them out with a. I think there's some kind of the curved blades off those little scissors for manicures and stuff like that. That's what I used. Yeah, here you can see the white really being added now. Or an X-Acto knife, just a sharp blade, new blade, cut it out. And then wait for what's coming up next. Alright, sorry I didn't film this for the actual piece, but I can show it to you this way. You see the post there. I just cut it to fit. So like I said, it's about equal distance around the wrist area. And then just, I didn't bend this one halfway up so I'd have more gluing surface. I have just that one little tiny contact point that you see right there. Now cut another one here that you see, and what I mean by you can bend it, you know, backwards so the spell sits out forward, or you can bend it forward somehow so it sits back away, or if you want, like I said, more contact area, you can go up, say, about halfway and then put a 90-degree bend in it, and that way, you know, all of this portion that I'm holding would be gluable surface, in other words. See, so that's basically all you have to do, and then you just figure out where you want it, you know, and how you're going to glue it, where it's going to be a longer surface area, or like I did, just at the cut it in half and put it at the very tip. But that's all you have to do to get it on there. Once you've got it all painted up and everything, make sure that you don't paint the inside here. You want this to be as invisible as possible. So, but that's basically it. If you have any questions or need me to be more clear or clarify anything for you, please let me know. And I hope this works for you. Well, this is General Splatton, and I'll talk again. Dismissed.